Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nico for those of you who don't know. Today we're going to be talking about summertime makeup. It's a little bit more on the minimal side. It's sweltering hot out. I want something that's not going to melt off my face. I want it to be a little bit more simple but pretty. If you're going to be wearing really simple, let's say all over makeup or nothing too heavy, but you still want to have maybe fun with your eyes or something along the lines of that, it's pretty easy to do it with a lip. But when you're doing it with your eyes, anything just like, you know, a smoky eye or something like that can look a little bit hectic. So I've been really vibing these sort of more minimalist, like colored eyeliners. So for me, I don't have a lot of these colored eyeliners. I just like to use an eyeshadow. Just have some fun with something bright, simple, adds a little pop of something, but it's very summery, very bright, very fun. A lot of really bright colors are in for this season as far as fashion and stuff goes. Color blocking, all sorts of stuff like that. So taking something that's maybe like a sky blue, a bright pink, a neon color, or something along the lines of that, those are all very in right now. I think it's perfect for summer. I love this type of thing. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. Just quick, easy, simple, but effective. Zoom you guys in. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the glow recipe. This is the Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer. For summertime, especially for COVID, I've been realizing that I'm not even washing my face as often. I used to wash my face like morning and night and everything, but even now, not too much. I already have sunblock on, so don't forget your SPF. I think that sweat-proof makeup is such a big deal for this, so being really hot in general, not gonna really help with all of that. I'm not necessarily saying that I know for sure that this makeup is absolutely sweat-proof for everybody. I'm not also a very face sweaty person, but I do find that this makeup holds up all day for me and that I don't really need to worry about it, so I'm just kind of sharing with you what it is that I use. Don't really prime my face, don't really use primer, especially in a scenario like this where I'm not gonna be wearing a whole lot of makeup. I feel like it's just one more layer of something slippy that's not gonna be great for this situation. So use at your own discretion. If you need to use a primer for like mattifying or anything like that, go ahead. It's not necessary for me. So what I am going to use today though is my NARS, and this is in the shade Light 2.6 Cafe con Leche, and I'm just gonna do some spot concealing. I'm having pretty decent skin. I always have a little bit of old discoloration, but I kind of have it around my mouth, my nose area. And I'm just making sure that I'm kind of like spreading it all over. I haven't done this eye yet, but I do not put a bunch of concealer underneath my eyes. I do not believe in that. It looks terrible in person. It looks cakey, it looks gross. If you're gonna use any, I suggest kind of taking whatever is left over on your sponge or brush or whatever and just using that to do your inner parts. If you need to color correct, that's another thing. There are proper ways of doing stuff where you do not need to pile this all on. I just don't think it's realistic. It looks really good on camera, but it looks like crap in person, and I have a really big smile. When I smile with my whole freaking face, and it's just like, my eyes disappear. When I laugh really hard, like, do I even have eyeballs? I don't know, but getting all of that concealer all crinkled up, no thank you. I gotta say though, actually, I have been noticing that this concealer does not really like to spread out very well and blend in with a sponge. I think I'm just gonna switch over to my brush here. Normally I'm not big into brushes. I like using a small but packed brush for something like this. Oh yeah, that works so much better. Okay, well my dog is coming over, a little pitter patter. I have been having better skin lately, not really so many like breakouts or whatever, and as a result, I can actually use a brush on my face. When I was having really dry skin and breakouts and stuff, a brush just did not put makeup into my skin very well, so this has been nice. He's always gotta hang out with me. Okay, so I'm just using my kind of travel essentials or my little mini bag that actually has like all my necessities in it. This is just my quick stuff. So I like to put my minis into this bag, and then that way I just have them on the go. So this is just a mini one of Fenty Beauty Shady Biz bronzer. This is a really great shade actually, even though I am tanned right now. I mean, the light's on and everything, I am tanned right now. This one I do have to build up a little bit to get that color payoff when I have a bit more of a tan, but it's very natural looking, so. And for me, it depends. If I want it to be a look where I want that like sun-kissed kind of look, I'll definitely do and bring it across here. If I want a little bit more chiseled looking, I have not a huge forehead, but I have a slightly larger forehead. So I do put a little bit, I kind of have these like, it's making my nose look like it's a bit more of a weird shape, but I was wearing my glasses for too long, so I have this like, even with concealer over it, I have this weird kind of darkness in here. It will eventually go away, but it's not really cooperating the best, so that's what that little bit is. I'm gonna take my Burt's Bees. This is the Toasted Cinnamon Blush, which is beautiful, and it almost looks like bronzer, honestly, but it's just a little bit peachy. I'm gonna take a actual brush. I'm gonna use this as an eyeshadow. Even though I have an eyeshadow palette, I'm still gonna, it's such a pretty color, and that way it'll all kind of go together and I don't have to use too many crazy products or anything. I do this with bronzer and with blush like all the time. This is weird, I know, but I'm really not too much of a fan of eyeshadow underneath my eyes in particular. I love it as like a look. Obviously it's makeup, right? Like it's pretty normal, I would say, or standard to put eyeshadow underneath your eyes. I have small eyes, I really do. They're very deeply inset into my face, and I can only do about like a little bit of the outer corner, maybe on the inner part or something, which I really like that look as well, but I can't do eyeshadow underneath my full eye. It looks weird, it looks closed off, it looks creased in. It doesn't look good on me, and I'm very much so like, I do the top lids and then so many times I leave the bottom because I feel like it closes my eyes in. This might just be personal, I might be totally full of it, but that's how I feel about it. So I also think that with a minimalist look, to just kind of keep it near the top, it looks more like contouring as opposed to a full look. I have had microblading done before, but it's pretty well faded. There's definitely still a little bit in there, but it's been 2 years longer since I've had them done. So my favorite thing, I really want to try the Glossier Brow Flick is what I think it's called, but I have the MAC one, which I've talked about many times. This is the Shape and Shade Brow Tint. This is in the shade Fling. I think that faux freckles are cute. Nobody's gonna change my mind on it. I know that some people hate it and I don't really care. I think my eyebrows are pretty well even. So I have my brow gel. I have a few of them. I have the Benefit one. I actually have multiple of them. I don't know where my Benefit one is. Mellow Cosmetics. This is the dark brown tinted brow gel. It's a little bit dark, but I love like a Bushman eyebrow. This brow gel here, this is the Fill and Tame brow gel. This is the clear one. I would love a tinted one if it comes in the same formula. I definitely 100% will repurchase this once it runs out. I got it in Ipsy bag of all things. It's amazing. At first I was really unsure about it. It is the most hardcore brow gel. My eyebrows go like poof, and then they do not move all day. Not happening. Ugh. I love a thick brow. These are actually pretty hardcore. I'm really not a highlighter gal. I know that's like blasphemy to a lot of people, but I'm just not. So what I would rather do is take like a MAC strobe cream. This is the Gold Light one. And since it's gonna be hot and whatever anyway, I'd rather just take that and put it around here. And then if I go out, I'm gonna look like I have that glistening dew. I don't know if this is actually sweat proof. It's just what I do, so. All right guys, so this was the internal dilemma I was having before. This is the Element of Surprise palette, which I have used in other looks, which I can link. This color right here, which is called Subdue. Oh my word, that one's really, really fun. I just wet my brush. I'm just using the MAC spray to just like wet it down a little bit. The dog is like doing the cutest little snores. I also find that working with like a wet eyeshadow is a lot more forgiving than working with an eyeliner. I'm not amazing with eyeliners by any means whatsoever. So for those of you who aren't that great with like a liquid liner, this is a really, really good alternative if you have any fun shadows. So I'm just gonna kind of map out here. The fact that I'm doing this where like I can barely see, let alone I don't even know if you guys can see, is dangerous. Definitely dangerous. Really easy. You don't have to do a line up top. There are so many times where I legitimately don't want it to really look like I'm wearing any makeup at all. I think that like these kind of minimalist line work things are really fun. They're a really fun way to have color without overwhelming anything. I'm just obsessed with this type of look. There's so many ways to do things along the lines of this. Pinterest is incredible for giving you sort of ideas or inspiration or whatever too. If you were working with a liner for this and you could do like little dots, the illusion that you have these things and whatnot is really, really fun and cool and artistic, I think. Also, I'm really a fan of like the little bit right in there, just a smidge, the same color. I think that looks so cool and fun. You could do something like, you could do something where it's just like underneath. You could do something bold. She just has that little outer corner right there done. That's it, and it just gives the illusion that you've done something like that. So we're just playing around right now. This is just for fun. So I'm gonna do the other one in like a different kind of design. There we go. That's a bit nicer for you guys, isn't it? If I were to wear this out, I would do them same. I really, really like this just little corner. Like you could do it however big or small you want with any color. Obviously you can do anything with any color, but I really, really like how that looks. And I like the addition. I probably would try to do, I would practice this to be able to do really nice lines and stuff. And I also think that the pink really makes my eyes look nice and pop and stuff like that. Someone has to readjust over here. If you had like say a white liner or something, that could be really cool. If you just did little accent lines to enhance it. So let's say like underneath right here, this top line here, if you did like a little shoot of a white, like maybe either underneath or on top of the line here on this end or something. If maybe all of this is too much for your everyday wear or anything like that, or it's just a little bit too much, you can just do an even more minimalist look version of this, like some of the photos that I showed you guys, and then you're laughing, right? I just realized that you might be able to hear my camera trying to adjust itself, so sorry, I turned that off again. But yeah, I just think that it is so cute, really, really fun. You can mess around quite a bit. I'm down like Charlie Brown. I just don't have big eyes. So sometimes I like to just bring a tiny little bit of black, either forward or this way, to just elongate my eye a little bit. It just gives the illusion of elongating my lash line ever so slightly. So that's it for the eyes. So the reason that I say this is, one, it's a fun way, obviously. It's a fun way to have, again, more pop of color, little bit of something without being, you know, overwhelming at all. So when you're wearing summertime makeup, it's very summery, it's bright, it's fun. Again, this would look really cool with like a bright blue. If you have like, I don't know, brown eyes, green eyes, whatever, play with your color palette, things that look good on you. But when you're doing this, and because I'm using an eyeshadow, and obviously if you were to use a specific type of liner or something like that, something longer lasting and everything, great. Using an eyeshadow, wetting the actual shadow on your brush with like the MAC mist or whatever that way, or with a setting spray of some sort, wetting it that way is gonna help keep your shadow on longer as well. I'm really vibing the minty like smell to it right now. So this is old school. This is a Tarte Lip Surgence lip tint. I think ColourPop has things really similar to this. It's like juicy, moisturizing, it's just a slight tint. I can easily throw it on, slap it on, not need a mirror or anything like that. That's perfect. And it just added a little bit of something. It might be too much to do this, but if you wanted to, you could pick a blush that's a little bit closer to the actual, like the lip and the eye color kind of go together. You don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could match that up too. I sprayed my face with the Milani Make It Last setting spray too, just for reference here. But yeah, this is just easy. It's not so much makeup that if I were to be sweating or anything like that, that it would all rub off. It's a nice little wash of color. It's a nice little pop of color. Don't know if it's your jam, but it's my jam. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Thank you for coming to my channel. If you have not already, please do not forget to subscribe, hit the little bell. I'll let you know when I do something new. This channel is really becoming about a lot of different things as far as just, I think, lifestyle goes. So if you want to wear makeup, if you want to do some DIY, if you want to organize things, if you want to see fashion, if you want to do all of it, I am just sort of recording my life as it goes now and not necessarily subscribing to the standard of an exclusively beauty channel. know, but I still love talking about it. I still love doing it. I love wearing makeup once in a while. I just find that with quarantine, it really put into perspective that, you know, I don't need to wear a pile of makeup or anything, but when I do and I want to have some fun, this is how I want to do it. So thank you guys once again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.